know what you want. If I asked you right now, what's your goal for the next 5 years? Could you answer me? Could you give me a clear, specific, and compelling answer? Because if you can't, then I can tell you right now, you're not going to attract success. You've got to be clear. Clarity leads to action, and action leads to results. When you know what you want, the path becomes clearer. Now, don't get me wrong, the path won't always be easy. In fact, it rarely is. But you'll be moving in the right direction, and that's what counts. Success comes to those who are willing to take consistent, disciplined action in the direction of their goals, even when the going gets tough. And believe me, it will get tough. But here's the secret. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. That's why becoming a person who attracts success is so important. You've got to become tougher, wiser, more resilient. The bigger your goals, the bigger the obstacles. But the obstacles are not there to stop you. They're there to make you stronger. Years ago, I was broke. I was 25 years old, and I had nothing. I mean, nothing in the bank, nothing in my pocket, and not much hope for the future. But something happened to me that changed the course of my life forever. I met a mentor, Mr. Schoaf, and Mr. Schoaf told me something that hit me like a ton of bricks. He said, Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. That was a revelation. I had been waiting for my circumstances to change. But what Mr. Schoaf taught me was that it wasn't about my circumstances, it was about me. I was the problem, but I was also the solution. If I wanted to attract success, I had to become the kind of person that success would be attracted to. So I started working on myself. I started reading books, listening to seminars, seeking out mentors, doing whatever it took to improve my mindset, my skills, my habits. And slowly but surely, things started to change. Why? Because I was changing. And that's the key, my friends. Success is something you attract by the person you become. When I changed, the opportunities changed. When I changed, the people I met changed. When I changed, everything changed. But it all started with me. Let's talk about habits. Because if you want to attract success, you've got to cultivate the right habits. Your habits determine your future. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if your habits are out of alignment with your goals, you're going to struggle. Think about it. If you want to be physically fit, but you have the habit of eating junk food and skipping the gym, are you going to get fit? Of course not. The same is true for success. You can't expect to be successful if your habits don't align with success. So, what are your habits? Successful people have success habits. They read, they plan, they take action. They review their progress, they get up early, they stay focused. They are consistent. And that's a big one. Consistency. It's not about doing something great once in a while. It's about doing the right things day in and day out. Success isn't built on occasional effort. It's built on consistent effort. And I'm telling you, that's not easy. It's easy to get excited for a day, maybe a week, but can you stay excited? Can you stay committed for months, for years? That's where the magic happens. It's in the consistency. But here's something else. Not only do you need the right habits, but you also need the right mindset. Your mindset is like the soil where everything else grows. If your mindset is negative, if it's full of doubt, fear, or limiting beliefs, it's going to be hard for you to attract success. You got to believe that you can become the person who attracts success. You got to believe that you're capable of achieving great things. Because if you don't believe it, no one else will. Now, don't get me wrong, belief by itself isn't enough. But belief is the foundation. It's where everything starts. You have to believe that your life can be different, that your future can be better than your past. I'm sure you've heard the saying, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. It's true. Your mindset shapes your reality. If you believe you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. But if you believe you can grow, you will grow. That's why becoming a person who attracts success starts with transforming your mindset. So how do you do that? You feed your mind with good information. You've got to be careful what you're letting into your mind, because your mind is like a sponge. It absorbs everything around it. If you're surrounding yourself with negative people, with pessimism, with fear, guess what? That's going to shape your thoughts. But if you surround yourself with positive influences, if you read books that inspire you, if you spend time with people who challenge you to be better, your mindset will shift. It has to. You'll start thinking differently. And when you start thinking differently, you'll start acting differently. And when you start acting differently, you'll start attracting different results. Now, relationships can be a big part of this. The people you surround yourself with have a massive influence on who you become. If you're hanging around with people who are negative, who don't have goals, who are content with mediocrity, it's going to be hard for you to attract success. You've got to surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who inspire you, people who challenge you to grow, people who are on a similar path of self-improvement. There's an old saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. It's true. You become like the people you spend the most time with. So if you want to attract success, take a look at your circle. Who are you spending time with? Now, I'm not saying you have to cut everyone out of your life, but I am saying you need to be intentional about the people you allow to influence you. Surround yourself with people who have high standards, people who are going somewhere, people who believe in your potential, because those people will push you to be better. And when you become better, you attract better. When I started working on myself, I noticed something interesting. The people around me started to change. Not because they were changing, but because I was changing. Some of the old friends I used to hang out with, they weren't interested in what I was doing anymore. They didn't want to read the books I was reading, didn't want to talk about personal development, success, or big ideas. And I realized something. Not everyone is going to come with you on your journey to success. Some people will stay where they are, and that's okay. But you've got to be willing to let go of relationships that hold you back if you want to move forward. You see, every relationship is like a force, either pulling you up or dragging you down. There's no middle ground. So ask yourself, are the people in my life pushing me toward my goals, or are they pulling me away? Be honest with yourself. If you're serious about becoming the person who attracts success, you need to align your relationships with your ambitions. Now, I know that's not always easy. Sometimes it's painful, but success requires sacrifice. You can't hang on to everything and expect to move ahead. When I started hanging out with my mentor, Mr. Schoaf, he introduced me to a whole new group of people. People who were achieving, people who were successful. And I'm telling you, that changed everything. I saw how these people thought, how they acted, how they carried themselves. They were disciplined, focused, generous, and optimistic. They believed in abundance, not scarcity. And that kind of thinking, it rubs off on you. I started to think differently, dream bigger, and act with more purpose. Why? Because I was around people who were already living the kind of life I wanted to live. So ask yourself, who are you learning from? Who are you modeling your life after? If you want to attract success, you need role models who are already successful. Success leaves clues, my friends. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Find people who have already achieved what you want to achieve and learn from them. Study their habits, their mindset, their routines. Success is predictable if you follow the right patterns. That's what I did with Mr. Schoaf. I followed his lead, I listened to his advice, and it changed the entire trajectory of my life. Let's talk about value. If you want to attract success, you need to become a person of value. Success isn't attracted to people who are just taking up space. It's attracted to people who are adding value to the world. And here's the key. The more value you add, the more success you will attract. But what does it mean to add value? It means solving problems. It means helping others. It means contributing more than you take. Successful people are problem solvers. They find ways to improve the world around them. They bring solutions, not complaints. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. So ask yourself, how can I add more value? How can you solve bigger problems? How can you contribute more to your job, to your business, to your community? When you become a person of value, people will seek you out. Opportunities will knock on your door. Why? Because the world rewards those who give more than they take. And remember this, the size of your success is directly proportional to the size of the problems you solve. If you solve small problems, you'll have small success. If you solve big problems, you'll attract big success. But here's something else to keep in mind. Becoming a person of value isn't just about solving external problems. It's also about working on your inner self, your character, your integrity, your ethics. People who attract lasting success are people who live by a code of values. They don't cut corners, they don't cheat, they don't deceive. They operate with integrity. Why? Because trust is the foundation of all success. If people can't trust you, you won't get very far. You might achieve some short-term gains, but it won't last. True success, lasting success, is built on trust. So be someone people can trust. Here's what Mr. Schoaf told me. He said, Jim, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That means if you cut corners in one area of your life, it's going to spill over into other areas. If you're dishonest in one aspect, that dishonesty will seep into other parts of your life. You can't compartmentalize your character. So if you want to become a person who attracts success, start by looking at the small things. Are you keeping your promises? Are you following through on your commitments? Are you doing your best, even when no one is watching? Because it's in those small daily decisions that your character is built. And your character is what ultimately attracts or repels success. Now, I want to talk about one of the most important qualities that attracts success: discipline. Without discipline, you won't get very far. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. It's the ability to keep going when the initial excitement wears off. It's the ability to stick to a plan, to stay focused, even when distractions come your way. And I'm telling you, there will always be distractions. There will always be things trying to pull you off course. But discipline is what keeps you on track. Discipline is what separates the winners from the losers, the successful from the unsuccessful. Most people give up when things get tough. But those who attract success, they keep going. They have the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that success is not about feelings. It's about principles. It's about doing the right thing day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. Now, discipline doesn't come naturally to most people. It certainly didn't come naturally to me. But here's the good news. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. You can build your discipline over time, just like you build your physical strength in the gym. It starts with small decisions. Maybe you wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual. Maybe you stick to your workout routine even when you'd rather stay in bed. Maybe you finish that project at work even though you're tired. Each time you make a disciplined decision, you're strengthening your discipline muscle. And over time, it becomes easier. But here's something else to remember.